It's your man Don Bucks. Welcome to Rappin Dough, the home of money conversations. We're gonna get into a continuation from last week. Title this week's lesson: The Middle Class Trap. Comfort, not knowing. Because even though if you make 75, 100, $150,000 a year, you could still be living paycheck to paycheck. And it's not just because of taxes. It's not just because of bills. It's because of not knowing. We're going to get into that after this intro. Rappin Dough, Rappin Dough, Rappin Dough. Yeah, man, not knowing no better. Uh, it's like as soon as you start making more money, and a lot of people go through this. As soon as they start making more money, they start buying more stuff. They want to upgrade their lifestyle. And before I got hip to the game, I was right with you. You make more money, you want to get a better car, want to get a better apartment, better crib, but we not upgrading our assets, our investments. Pretty much living like poor people, even though we got middle class income. We call that lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep. Yeah, that's what happens. Jokers start working overtime. You know, now they wanna outdo their last vacation. Like they spent 2,000 on the last vacation. They want to spend 5,000 on this vacation because they got a raise this year. You dig? But we can't fall into that trap because a lot of times we just don't know. A lot of times we just don't know. And it wasn't until I knew. It was like, you know what? The real flex is assets. The real flex is trying to get out that rat race. You dig what I'm saying? So it's not all about trying to get overtime uh, necessarily or trying to get a raise. It's about knowing about this whole wealth creation thing. You got to be hip to it. You got to know about it. It's like if you don't know, you don't know. But they also say if you know better, you do better. You dig? So you just got to come to the terms with the job system was not built to be outworked. It just wasn't. It was built for workers because how a business going to run without workers. So it's not going to be created for you to get out of it unless the worker knows better. Because my thing, I always had this entrepreneurial spirit. It's like even when I was like buying weed all the time, it's like, man, I'm tired of buying weed. How about I sell the weed? So I can always have weed. But I digress. Same premise. It's like I'm working this job. Like, how could I be the boss? That's the same type of scenario if you extrapolate that. Like, how could I be the boss? You dig? So the job system wasn't built to be outworked. You have to pretty much figure out, like, you know what? Um, Instead of building their machine, I got to start building my machine. And just like last week when I was talking about, you just start with one car. I put one car on Turo, buy one car, right? With that extra money. You know what I'm saying? Um, Buy one car or, that 100, $200. Cause I remember shit, man, I was spending, well, me and my guys was spending at least $40 a day on Remy. So when I stopped drinking Remy, I said, man, and I got more into my investments. I'm like, man, $20 a day. That's $140 a week. That's $560 a month. I'm spending on liquor. You know what that could be in terms of investments? So, not even talking about going out. So, let's just say the going out money you spend, let's just be rational and say you spend $200 when you go out. That $200 can go into a $300 a year dividend stock. You know what I'm saying? So we got to just shift our mindset because it's all about knowing or getting the information. Now that you know, every time you spend money, because now that I'm on it, like every time I think about spending money, I'm like, do I need this or could I use that money for an investment? Because the whole object is to get free, right? Because we're not about to play and shit and then complain that it stinks. That don't make no sense. We're not going willingly entangle ourselves in something and then complain about it. That don't make no fucking sense. So now that you know better, it's like, let me actively and purposefully get the fuck out of this shit. Instead of like, let's say you don't want to stop going out. Instead of spending 200, spend 100. Discipline, being mindful, having a goal to get the fuck out of the job situation and power your own machine. That's how that works. So you ain't gonna play in the shit and then complain that it stinks. You can't do that. So start with one car, start with one stock, one share. Start there. Because a lot of times I talk about the freedom price. People don't even know what their freedom price is. A lot of people screaming they want to be millionaires. You don't even necessarily have to be a millionaire to be free. Freedom is uh your freedom price. And your freedom price is, what are your expenses monthly? Plus, add some cushion on there. And let's say your expenses is $3,000 a month. Add 500, 1,000 on there. And let's just add 1,000 on there. $4,000 a month. That's your freedom price. How do we get 4,000 coming in consistently? That's where the ball game starts. Because it's like, now you have a goal. Now you can incrementally chip off and add assets that's going to pay you to equal to 4,000. So that's not $1,000,000. You dig what I'm saying? See where I'm going with this? So it's not $1,000,000. It's your freedom price. So instead of spending $200 a weekend or $20 a day like me, start chipping away at the asset goal. The things that are going to get to your freedom price, your monthly expenses monthly, coming in consistently, passively. So basically getting addicted to asset collection. That's the new flex. That should be the new flex. That is the new flex. Getting addicted to passive income, creating it, chipping away at your goal, because that becomes fun. Trust me, I'm here to tell you. It becomes fun, especially at an early age. The earlier you start, the better. That's the new flex. Getting addicted to asset collection. Right? I mean, think about it. The person that has these streams of income that's satisfying their freedom price, that's way better than a person that has, that G Wagon that you've been looking at that don't have no assets. The person that's flexing trinkets that we think they doing good because they got trinkets. Now, they may have assets, but a lot of times most of us don't. So the stuff that you're impressed by on the surface, meanwhile, they got to go to work tomorrow type shit. So the person with these 5 streams, them 5 streams could be 5 cars. Them 5 streams could be 3 cars and 2 stocks. That person with 5 streams, 6 streams, 7 streams is way more doper in a car, in a paid off car. Let's add that in there too. The person with these streams and a paid off car is way better, way doper, in my opinion. Somebody that's running around here with a G-Wagon that got to go to work tomorrow. It just is what it is. We need to get addicted to asset collection, addicted to chipping away at our freedom price. So it's not necessarily about making more money. And I posted this, I think I posted something like this yesterday on my Instagram. Because if you don't know any better, you can't do any better, right? It's all about having the information, investing in the information, tapping into stuff like this. Until you, like, it's all about knowing better to do better. So if you don't know any better, of course you're gonna be right along with everybody else, the masses, trying to get shit and look like you rich. Meanwhile, you got to go to work tomorrow. So the real flex is chipping away at your freedom price. It's not about how much money you make all the time, because like I said, people get these raises, people work this overtime, and just it don't look like they got a raise or they work overtime because they bought more shit. They bought more shit. So they back in the same, they got to go back to work and do it again. When whole time you could be taking that money, the same money or that overtime money, and chipping away at your freedom price, building on it, exceeding it, so you can retire somebody else, retire your mom, retire your significant other. No, get the ball rolling for your kid if you got kids. See what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily about making more money. It's about knowing what to do with the money that you already got. So start with 1 share, dividend paying shares. Start with 1 car that you put on Turo. So if you're not familiar with that process, go back to the previous video, because that's what I'll do. I buy cash cars, put them on Turo, freedom price. We buying dividends, stocks, freedom price. You know what I'm saying? So this is what that money is being used for. Any extra money, this is what we doing. We buying assets. We tired of building the jobs machine. It's time to start building our machine, our income producing machine. Because like I said, the job machine is not built to be outworked. It's not built for that. So we got to upgrade our ownership. Upgrade our ownership. Start building our machine. You dig? So that's called the middle class trap. Making money, getting raises, and staying in the same spot because you're buying more shit. It's a bait. It's a comfort bait. Basically, they baiting you into the trap with the raises, the overtime. But if you tapped into here, you're not average. In 2025, we not staying stuck. We working smart. We know better, so we gonna do better. You dig? That's what we doing. So stay dangerous. Let's build. It's Rappin Dough, your man Don Bucks. See y'all next week.